the software already in place kan, betul? Now let us begin with the first one. We call it as the Recode. Kita nak tukar coding. Boleh? Faham ke tak faham ni? So contoh for example, I got the B1 until B5 kan. So katakanlah katakan ini contoh saja, hypothetically speaking. So the B5 is actually the negative question. Negative question maksud dia mesti jawab secara negatif lah. So kalau dia jawab sangat baik, itu sebenarnya menunjukkan dia kata tidak baik. Faham tak? Kalau dia cakap sangat baik, itu menyatakan tidak baik. Dia sebaliklah, inverse. This is only an example. Faham ya? Saya tunjukkan ini sebagai contoh, di mana bila responden jawab, when the respondent answer it, they just answer it naturally. But you as the researcher know about the algorithm, and you want to translate the algorithm in a such a way that when the answer is 1 or the answer is low, is actually reflected that this is a problematic thing, ataupun vice versa lah. Senang cerita, kita terbalikkan dia punya penyataan. Jelas ya? Saya tidak suka akan nasi yang mentah, contoh. So itu adalah straight away kan. Kalau dia kata sangat setuju, maknanya itu adalah soalan positif. Tapi kalau dia kata adalah saya suka nasi mentah, sebab kita tahu nasi mentah ni adalah penyataan ayat yang negatif, betul? Sepatutnya dia kena jawab saya tidak setuju. Okay, so that kind of thing. So that is the first thing that we need to do now, which is we want to transcode, ataupun kita panggil sebagai recode. We want to recode from 1 to 5, from 5 to 1. Understand or not? Now we want to change this one. We want to change from 1, sebab nanti kita nak kira score. So after this, we want to compute the score. So when the score of environment is very high, that's mean they are very good environment. When the environment score is very low, that's mean there is a bad environment. Understand So hypothetically speaking, in this example, level of noise is considered negative. Hypothetically speaking. Maksudnya kalau ikut pernyataan asal kita buat tadi pun, sebenarnya tak ada kena-mengena pun dengan negative statement. Tapi saja nak tunjukkan kepada you all. For the purpose of demonstration, I'm going to use this one as an example of the negative statements. Okay? Faham ya? Saya kena bagi disclaimer tu dulu. Alright. So how to do that? It's very simple. You need to go to the transform and then focus on the recode into different variables. So we need to change the variable from the score number 1 to be indicated as a problematic is actually non-problematic. Maksudnya kita nak menyatakan satu tu akan dapat markah 5 dan sebaliknya. So pergi kepada transform and recode into different variable. After you are doing that, then you are going to specify what kind of variable that you want to insert and change it accordingly. So you boleh tekan right click dan pergi kepada display variable name. So kita dah tahulah yang saya cakap daripada awal tadi, we are going to change the B5. Okay? Understand or not? So kalau anda tak nak pergi kepada variable name, you can display the variable label. So you have two options. So in this case, I'm going to use the variable name because I already familiar that the B5 is actually talking about noise. So I'm going to insert it inside the input variable. So you have 3 ways to do that. The first one, you insert it using the arrow. The second one is actually to drag it. And then the third one is using the syntax, which is the syntax I'm going to explain after this lah. Okay, now masukkan B5 ni ke dalam input variable. Dah masuk dah? Dah After that, I'm going to rename it. So, saya akan letakkan b5.n. N is actually name as a new lah. Maksudnya dia akan ditukarkan kepada new variable. b5.n. Okay. Make sure you tulis .n. You tak tulis spacebar n. Sebab macam saya kata, variable name cannot have the spacebar. You can also use the underscore or whatever that preference that you like lah. So, I'm going to use the b5.n. So far, so good? Okay, and then after that, you are going to click the change button. So the change button enable yourself to see that the B5 are no longer, will be remain there as B5, but the SPSS are going to generate another new variable named as B5.m. Okay, understand? Now we are going to teach the computer what kind of transcoding that we want to use. So we are going to click the old and new values over here. So click old and new values. After you click all and new values, this is the very important part where we try to teach the computer to change the old value into the new value. So you can see here is the old value and this one is the new value. Nampak ya? Okay, so now we want to change it accordingly. Let's say we have the value number 1. As I mentioned, for those who are saying that the noise is actually 1, it is actually non-problematic or it's good. So we are going to specify as number 5. So you just go for the old value. You can see ini ada box kan, tak berapa nampak lah. Tapi kalau you tengok betul-betul, dia ada macam bentuk old value ni dalam boxes ni. Betul kan? So you are going to specify as number 1 and then the new value are going to specify as number 5. Okay? And then you are going to click the add button. So whatever people yang tanda 1 is actually going to be transcode or change the code into number 5. Okay. And then we do the same thing for the number 2. Number 2 are going to be changed into number 4. Pandai ya. Kemudian anda tekan butang add. Number 3 akan be changed into number 3 also lah. Dia tak boleh change apa-apa lah sebab dia tengah kan, penengah data. And then number 4 are going to be changed into number 2. And then number 5 are going to be changed into number 1. Okay, and then you add. Okay, so far so good? Boleh? Boleh follow? Boleh. And then you are going to click the continue. So after you click the continue, then something will happen lah after this. But before that, I just want to give some remarks here so that you also know that you can not only change the value through value, you can also use the range. Contoh macam saya kata tadi, when you have the data in terms of numerical data, you can change the numeric data into categorical data. Let's say less than 25 is considered group number 1. You can still do that. That's why kalau you ingat apa yang saya pesan tadi, if you can ask them about the data of the interval or ratio data, preferably you ask them first. Rather than you fikir macam mana nak kategorikan, never mind. That categorical approaches, we are going to use the computer to solve the problem. Faham kan? Faham Okay. So itu adalah highlight lah. Contoh macam ni kan. Lowest true value, kita ada highest true value means that we can change it later on. As long as you get the data first and then you can change it for your preference lah. Okay, dah siap, you can click the continue. After you click the continue, you have 2 options. The first option is okay. Never click okay. Itu saya punya prinsip lah. I never click OK for my analysis or whatsoever reason because I love to generate the syntax, which is I'm going to teach you now. So, kalau anda tekan OK, what will happen? The SPSS are going to run the procedure that you ask them to do in a split second lah. In a split second, it will run it for you. But now, I'm going to advise you to use the syntax. So, you can click the paste button instead of OK. So after you click the paste button, suddenly something happen. Betul tak? Some new menu is actually being appear in front of your eyes. We call it as a syntax, not shaitan as I mentioned to you before. So the syntax is actually something to do with the toyol or helper that may help you to make your life much more easier in the future. Contoh kan, this is the code where when you run it, when people have the variables, they will change automatically. Kalau anda ada syntax, kalau anda tak ada syntax, for example, data ni kan baru 22 orang, betul tak? Anda pun guna research yang sama, you want to recollect the data and then you get another 100 people. So when you get another 100 people, what you will do? You are going to do whatever that I teach you just now. You are going to go for a transform, recode into different variable, blah, 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 and so on and so forth. But using the syntax, you can automate, you can reanalyze it in a split second also. Maksudnya anda simpan dia punya algorithm. So you are going to save the algorithm so that you can use and reuse. Itu fungsi syntax. Faham ke tak faham? Tak faham lagi function tu kan? Never mind. Nanti awak akan faham juga satu masa nanti. Kalau masih tak faham, saya akan terangkan lagi dan lagi. Okay. So now the syntax is already been saved. How to run? Sebab dia belum run lagi tau. Dia hanya menjalankan fungsi sahaja. So to run it is actually you highlight the data, you highlight the code or you highlight the kita panggil command lah. You highlight the command like this and then you click the play button over here ataupun anda boleh tekan command R bagi Mac ataupun control R bagi Windows. So after you do that, then the control R ataupun anda tekan command R bagi Windows lah. And then tiba-tiba keluar lagi satu menu. Menu ini dinamakan output. Output ini adalah menu yang ketiga akan keluar dalam SPSS. So you remember SPSS ni dia akan ada 3 menu. Menu yang pertama adalah data.sav. Menu yang kedua adalah SPS iaitu anda punya syntax. And then the last but not least is the SPV if I am not mistaken. This one is actually your output. So analisis anda akan keluar dekat output. Jelas tak jelas? Tak keluar pun output tu. Kalau pengguna Mac, kadang-kadang dia bukan tak keluar. Dia berada di belakang entah mana. So anda kena carilah. Tak keluar juga Dia keluar apa? Tak keluar apa-apa. Okey, itu maksudnya saya kena bantulah untuk anda mengeluarkan ianya. Okey. So kalau dia dah keluar, dia akan hasilkan sesuatu. Kalau anda tengok dekat bawah ni, daripada 32 pada asal ni, sekarang dah jadi 33. Before this is actually a 32 punya variable which is n at the C21. Now is already B5.n. It is a new data. that already changed from 1 to 5. From 5 to 4, something like that. So now it's finished. The example and the beauty of the syntax, where you actually can copy and paste the syntax code over here. For example, you want to change also the before. So you change lah. The before are going to be renamed as before.n. And then you rerun. And then what you will get? You will get another variable inserted here. Nampak tak? So tak payah buat satu-satu, analyze and so on. Siapa yang tak ada SPSS, you can still use the PSPP to do this. You can still use it. You can still generate the syntax and you can still run the SPSS syntax inside your PSPP software. Okay, understand or not? Understand or not, or cannot understand at all, or you want to go back already? Mana yang tak faham tu?